Today's book discussion is named Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is all about how to be aware of how the little things you're doing make a huge impact in your life. For example, for me, a little single habit of taking a drink of alcohol is making a huge negative impact in my life. And just changing that one habit changed the entire trajectory of my life. I like one of the most valuable analogies James Clear makes in the book is that if you are taking a plane from LA to New York and you adjust the course by just 3 degrees, which out of 360 degrees in possible course directions, that's less than 1%. A less than 1% change in the plane's trajectory from when you're going to LA to New York, you'll end up at Washington, D.C., which is hundreds of miles away from your destination. And if you look at your life the same way, a little change in your life today can drastically alter the entire trajectory your life takes. And to me, the main takeaway of this book is to take inventory of your habits, know that you can change those habits, and then this book has a lot of tools to help you change habits. If you're struggling to change a habit, like for me, I struggled heavily to change my drinking habit, and one reason for that is that so many of I had deep programming in my drinking habit. For example, if you go to a wedding, you drink. If you wake up and you're angry, drink. If you want to have a good time, drink. And there were all these different scenarios where my solution was consistently to drink, and my habit was to drink. And if you're in that, if you've got your habits programmed like that, then it's important to go through the reprogramming process. And then James Clear in Atomic Habits talks about the reprogramming process. One of the key things you can do to reprogram a habit is make it unattractive. When I was doing my drinking, the habit looked attractive because when I was thinking about drinking, I'd think, man, I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have a good time. Hot girls are going to mysteriously show up like they do in those beer commercials. And when I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, they helped me reprogram my mind and say, when you take a drink, remember all the bad stuff you've done. Remember all the times you've puked and been sick and done stupid things. And going to Alcoholics Anonymous, they helped me reprogram those habits where all of a sudden taking a drink is very unattractive to me today. The idea of taking a drink is utterly disgusting. Like, ugh, that's not going to do anything good for me. And if simply doing the things in the book Atomic Habits, while that can help, you more than likely might need a bit more help than that. And if you find a particular habit that is really throwing you off course, I would suggest you want to go to some kind of a support group or be around some kind of a community that can help you with it. Because if you've got a very destructive habit, it may take a lot of work to reprogram everything around that habit. But I'm here to tell you, I'm grateful. I've got 7 years sober this month. And I absolutely know for sure that you can reprogram any habit you want to. My drinking habit was programmed very thoroughly. My drinking habit, everything in my life led to a drink somehow. And I went through the process as a part of Alcoholics Anonymous of changing all the things related to that habit, like James Clear talks about in his book. He talks about reprogramming the habit, make it unattractive, and then by contrast, make the healthy alternative attractive. Like going to an AA meeting is attractive. I love seeing who's there. It's fun. I feel better afterwards. And that's my alternative to drinking. So the alternative is now attractive, whereas the drinking itself is now unattractive. And once you realize you can reprogram a habit, you might want to start small with something like the Atomic Habits and reprogramming your habits. You might want to start small because some bigger habits might seem like you just can't do anything about them. But when you see you can reprogram a little habit, you know you can reprogram a big habit. And I'm grateful once I got sober and was able to stay sober and like being sober, I realized that I can reprogram anything. I can reprogram my driving habits. I can reprogram my language, my talking habits. I can reprogram my ideas about parenting. I can literally I am the creator of my reality. I can program myself however I choose to, if I'll get the help I need to do that. If I get the help I need to do that, I can reprogram to any various way I would like. And reading Atomic Habits leaves you feeling very empowered. Like, some of these things you think are so challenging in your life can really easily be programmed differently. And they can be programmed in a way that will leave you feeling very happy and fulfilled. And that you might not be such a disaster, that you literally might... Like, you might think of yourself as this hopeless case with a messed up life, but really, you might just need to reprogram a couple of habits. For example, as soon as I reprogrammed my desire to drink into a desire to stay sober, my whole life has been going fantastic since then. I've been loving my life. I've been having a lot of fun. My relationships have gotten better. And it's most essential to identify the number one habit you need to reprogram. Because, for example, for me, as long as I drank, I was not going to be... I tried to reprogram my diet when I drank, but my drinking would override my diet. You need to find whatever most destructive or most controlling habit you have and get that taken care of. Because, for example, for me, as long as I drank alcohol, nothing else I was going to do was going to stick. But now that I'm sober, I have the power. I can get into all that other stuff. I can get into my diet. I can get into my driving. I can get into how I talk to people. I can get into how little habits. And I can enjoy my life so much more. And feel in control. And I mean, what most of us relate to feeling bad is feeling powerless, feeling helpless, feeling out of control. Like our life isn't up to us. And when you get into reprogramming your habits, you become very aware of the fact that you are in control of your life. And that, in fact, everything you think of that's bad that happened to you, like what your mom did when you were a child, or what this person said, or how this girl or boy betrayed you, when you get into all these, you can actually see those are helpful, because now you've got a good idea of how you want to program yourself. Now you know what you don't like, and knowing what you don't like and what you don't want is very helpful, because that gives you good motivation to reprogram a habit. Like, oh, you know what? I don't like it when people cheat on me, so I'm going to find a partner who will be faithful, and that I will be faithful to also. And then you can look at your dating habits. What are your dating habits? What are your relationship habits? You can get into any aspect of your life. And from there, you can really help other people, because ultimately you can only give to other people what you've got. So if you've got this life of self-hatred, if you've got all these feelings of, I'm not good enough and life is the worst, then that's where you're going to be able to help other people from. If you love yourself and you're really happy about your life and you feel empowered, then that's where you'll be able to help other people from. You can only give to people what you've got. So if you've got a bitter heart and a frustrated mind, then no matter what you say, everything you do will be done from that standpoint. Which is why I love books like Atomic Habits to help us see little tiny course corrections can make a big difference in the trajectory of our lives. Thank you. We got 500 stars sent twice. Mandy wrote a paragraph. Let me take a look at that. Oh my goodness.
Alcoholic. Just say after. Sometimes we lost the word.
Mandy, that's beautiful. Thank you, man, very much. Can we get a hashtag from Mandy in the chat?
I could go on, but just.
Oh my goodness.
And dude, don't die. He is one of the 6. He speaks.
Nick, thank you very much for 500 more stars, Nick. Josie, nice to see you today.
Don't let your hurt you.
Yes, do not let your past hurt you either.
Future.
Amen. Learn from it. Focus on it. Focus on how it can teach you about the kind of future you really want. Exactly. There's no need to let your past be a reason why you're going to have a bad future, but instead, you can let your past be something that shows you the kind of future you want. You can be grateful for it. Mandy, thank you for the huge love. And I love that. And it's amazing to see all the kind words that come my way, Tin. And I literally just disregard the negative stuff because Mandy's comment is what I'm interested in remembering about the stream. And that's what I'll remember. I won't focus on the other stuff. And all that comes down to little habits, like little habits of who do you listen to? What do you pay attention to? What do you think about? So I'm so grateful for being able to... Oh my goodness, there's 3 loadouts here. Okay. We're going to go get another... We'll go loot somewhere else here. So I'm so grateful to share this Atomic Habits book with you. They say leaders are readers. They say leaders are readers. And I'm a big believer in leaders are readers. And this is one of those books I've read that's made a significant difference in my life. That has helped me to level up my life a little bit. And I hope it's helpful for you to level up your life today. Reading is one of those little habits that can make a huge difference in your life. Just like, yeah, if you can read like an hour of a book every day and you can get a little bit of inspiration from it, you can learn something a little bit new from that book. The habit of reading is one of those habits that you keep expanding your mind, you keep growing your mind a little bit every day with the books you're reading, and your life just gets so good. And you look back and you can't even realize exactly where it happened. Like, you know, where did my life get so good? And one of those things you can point to is, oh, reading. Like, reading is one of those spots where you keep reading, you keep learning something new, you just keep getting your life better and better and better from it. So I'm grateful for Atomic Habits giving me this book to talk about today while we're playing Warzone. I appreciate y'all being here to listen to it. And we'll switch over to focusing on the Warzone gameplay now.